Hey guys, it's Tarn coming at you with another game of Total Warhammer 3. We're here, beginning our Gor-Rok campaign. This is who he is. We are playing the Lizardmen. Now, we have the fortune of starting in the roughest neighborhood in the game, perhaps. We also have the fortune of starting with this guy. He's called Lord Kroak. You'll hear me say stuff a lot like, the strongest thing in the game. Lord Kroak is probably he is one of the strongest spellcasters in the game. What he lacks in mobility and sort of like infinite castability. There's some spellcasters that get very broken indeed. What I should say is Lord Kroak punches so hard when he gets going. Also, his spells, his special spells, the Deliverance of each sub, they do a ton of damage. The most important thing about them is that they don't hit your friendly troops, so you can cast them in whatever blob and just center it. This is Lord Kroak. He is like a mummified toad. Slan, they're called. They're very awesome. This is Gor-Rok here. He's the little dude. Do not let that fool you. One of the things being small does is make you very hardy. This is our Bastillodon with the Revivification Crystal. This is our special unit at the start. It's very nice, okay? So, it's a Basti, which is a heavily armored monster, and it's got some shots which do, like, poison, which is fine. Revivification Crystal, you get 7 uses of it, so, you know, you'll always be able to use it. And it will bring people back from the dead. It's a 10% heal to a unit, any unit of yours. We're in walking mode because I'm playing smart. Also, so we can see our troops as they go in. Look! The Saurus march to war. You never get time to actually look at the game later, right? Alright. Amazing cinematic. We have plague toads here. We're gonna get spears on them. Missiles on the plague bearers. When I tell you Gor-Rok is just gonna smash here. Oh yeah, and then of course we've got this very nice ability that's... He doesn't have perfect vigor at the start, but it might as well be. We're just gonna heal these fellas and... So we're gonna hit him with the steel chair. Deliverance 3. No, that's too excessive. We don't really need to use these at all, I guess, but... You know, because when you use up magic, it goes away for a bit, but... Alright. Gor-Rok has found his man. Look at him there. Oh, he's gonna get so tuned up you don't even know. Gor-Rok looks unassuming, but it belies an absolute murderer of a character. Great animations, good stats, and they only get better. And of course you just want to cycle charge your dudes, or charge through and rear charge them, that's good too. Because the thing about this fight is, like, this fight is here to teach you that Gor-Rok can win 1v1s. Also, we should have used this. This is a really great ability, too. So it's a 40% ward save, and we should have popped it at the beginning of the battle, not the end when we won. But it's alright. We weren't able to get another heal off because they shattered down. Hey, Neo. Yes, indeed. You did say a few days ago that I should do Lizardmen, and I was like, does Nakai count? And then I thought, you know what would be fun? Lustria Bowl. Why don't we just take the bestest boy, Gor-Rok, and the punchiest toad, Lord Kroak, and see if they still got it? I love Nakai because I hate defending. Mazda Mundi is like... I don't know what it is about his campaign. Same with, like... There's a lot of Lizardman campaign, Tahinwan, Tic-Tac-Toe, where it's like they're... Tahinwan is a good example because it's like it's so close to being super interesting, and then it just like, you know, feels like if they redesigned it in a modern way, not that they would have any reason to, but you know, like that there could be a whole lot more going on with what's there. Yeah, I totally agree. What Mazda brings to the field is... It's just not interesting compared to what you can get from any other Lizardman. I mean, like... Gor-Rok is, like, a beautiful style all his own, right? Like, Gor-Rok's this wonderful thing. Nakai is, of course, quite unique. And Oxyotl is unique. But playing, like, Kroak is so awesome, right? And Gor-Rok is amazing, and starting with Lord Kroak is freaking sweet. But Mazda doesn't really have anything like that to me. But we'll go ahead and drop the shield of the old ones here at the beginning. Which gives us a huge ward save, and then we'll just drop It's here on the Plague Bearers. Speed it up a little bit because there won't be too much going on tactically here. I really just did this manually, not because I thought the fight would be interesting. I didn't, but because I didn't want to take a bunch more damage on my army. Not that we took much, but there's just so much going on in this particular neighborhood, and I don't think it is a super good idea. Getting a little bit up on Lord Kroak, he'll be fine. But as I was saying as I trailed off, I don't think it's a super good idea to take like a bunch of unnecessary damage at all here. Gor-Rok has this ability and is like the capstone of his special line where he gets regeneration. Amazing, and a battlefield healing cap of plus 100%, so he just, you know, he'll just keep fighting. He has this other thing that gives him, like, unbreakable as long as he's got more than half health, so he'll fight for just a super long time. He's fun. But I just like how Gor-Rok sort of goes into stuff that I'll generally like about any campaign, right? A very strong spellcaster that I can use whenever I remember to. And then, like, a legendary lord that can really be the linchpin of it, you know, that you could forget for a little bit and they'll be sorry they picked a fight with you. Alright, so if we go blue line for lightning strike, I don't love doing that. I don't, like, why don't we just not care about lightning strike, right? 5% movement doesn't matter. Because, alright, let's just think for a second. Little abstraction. Who's our neighbor? Random Zinch guy. So far, so good. We've got to fight, like, Skrolk, though, like, right away, right? We got to fight Skaven, and then we're going to have to fight Skulltaker, I think, and the Mask, and, yeah, so there's going to be a tense time to come. What we want to do here is... I think we just grab a couple skinks to flank with, right? Saurus are super powerful, but if we keep the cost down for a couple more turns... Here we get a gold mining pit. So when it upgrades, we get... Feral Bastillodons, because that's like, you know, that's who I am as a person. I believe in the Feral Basti. Because you can get Revivification crystals at tier 3, which is just super good. You get a few of those in an army, and that's so much healing. Skulltaker, Mask. Yeah, so like, Skulltaker and Mask are... I haven't personally dealt with it in campaign, but I know them... by reputation, right? Alright, so we're gonna go... Okay. So we're gonna need the power, right? We're gonna need the power to solve the problems of, like, a Khorne army, or, like, the Mask. We're gonna need the punch. We also don't have magic attacks or access to them in the tree. This is not super great. We might be able to get access to them through an item. Hopefully we will. And of course, dealing with Skaven and stuff. So, Kroak has all this stuff. You get 15% spell resist from him. There's all sorts of amazing things that he has. But, yeah, lack of magic attacks, that's the thing that's jumping out at me right now as a problem that we don't have an answer to, because the Mace of Ulamok doesn't give them to you. So we'll be hoping for something that we can get that from. Alright. And Kroak is always... Alright, so... Do you get more Saurus because Saurus are good? I feel like just having more units on the field is fine. Blah, blah. Why can't I ever make the choice that's right? If we had shields, that would be even better, right? Are we going to need shields against Slaanesh? Not really. Or Khorne? No. Do we fight Skaven first? Well, massive weapon strength is its own reward, right? So we're just going to take non-anti-large Saurus. Nobody ever felt sorry for doing that. Bach. And then... hit the growth here. Oh no, now there's tech to worry about. First turn blues. Poison for skinks. If we go straight here, we'll get at missile resistant for Bastillodons. But do we need that for who we're fighting? No, do we just, like, take weapon strength for Saurus? Balk? It's never wrong to make Saurus better at bashing things. But probably there's, like, a growth one. And probably I should take it. Fine. Boring. Hate being an adult. Super boring. And we have encountered the Blooded Wanderers. We could establish relations. Well, I don't think they'll want that. Now, so the problem with being lizardmen is it doesn't make sense to be friends with most people. And the ones that it would make sense to be friends with often don't want to be your friend. And now we need to get to working on the quest for this mace, which, unlike basically all the quests in the world nowadays, still requires you to do, like, specific things that aren't do a battle or something. And I think there's a quest after it. But anyway, you know, we're just gonna have to hope that we can get enough Skaven things done before, yeah, before it doesn't work out. I bet there's a way for this campaign to work out where I just can't get this weapon, which is fine. It's not like the most amazing thing. It is good. But we're moving down the tree, right? Because you can get to a greater arcane conduit super quick. Okay, exorcism, we can get through him. Well, at least there's that. Which... Since when did the Lord of Light do that? Man, things have changed. I should know that, but... And then ward save, of course. He gets all of those. You can get a big barrier. Where? Here. Yeah. Doesn't take long to get very interesting stuff with him. Anyway. He's just the greatest, except no substitutes. We're going to move over here to Itza. Almost. You know, there's nothing in the world like moving around in Lustria. That's why, like, you have to deal with the Skaven first anyway, even if the quest wasn't there. But because the Skaven are the only principal antagonist on the whole of Lustria with underway movement, it's mandatory that you deal with them. Everyone else, the jungle, is just as annoying to them as you, or maybe even a little more. I mean, I kind of think skinks to be efficient, and now I'm just thinking, no, like, what if you had more Saurus? Like, you know, it's really good against Skaven, just, like, stuffing a bunch of Saurus on top of them. Pyrrhic victory. Oh, okay, yeah. They have a great unclean one. An Exalti, sorry. Well, guess it's gonna be a real fight. The thing is it's like better at fighting than Gor-Rok is, right? Plus it has magical attacks, which removes sort of all, most of his power. However, we've got spears. We've got all sorts of solutions. all sorts of them. Exalted, Greater Unclean Ones are very funny lords to have to be facing on, like, the third turn, though. In Malachai's campaign, it's how you start. And we're in regular movement, not running, because, look, I'm learning. We're going to save the, we'll fast forward it. Save the... Vigor and just walk patiently to battle, Bach. Like, what a cool faction, even though we haven't made it look any cooler. I mean, that's a lie, though. Because now, in the back, we've got another 4 set of heavy-hitting Soros. Alright, we can speed it back up again. Man, that's such a cool-looking army. It doesn't have, like, the coolest coloration, but the white on the Lizardmen, like, it is a cool thing, and the yellow splash is nice. I really like the color scheme on Nakai's vassal, the defenders. I think it's really pretty. And we're just going to keep all of their shots there. Bastillodon to crunch this side. And now we can all happily charge ahead. We're going to send Kroak, like, over here, so that the Exalti doesn't get on top of him. We're going to send Gor-Rok to brawl, because, like, don't ask him to stop being a lizard. We do have big healing. We let ourselves get flanked there with the force there. Alright, what we want to do is drop the shield of the old ones here, and then we're going to drop a Deliverance 3, and we're about to see why I talk so much about Lord Kroak. Observe. The Deliverance of Itza! Level 3! Did you see that? They're all dead. They're dead. They're dead. They're all dead. Oh, the humanity. Anyway, it gets it done. We got our skinks out on the flank, able to put their javelin fire in on the big guy, who is very sad now. Of course, Crocky G, not exactly having a party. Considering that that big ward save buff is now gone, we want to dive out a little bit. We want to get a heal. Oh, I healed Kroak. Whoops-a-daisy. Well, that was a little misclick. It's okay. At least he knows that we're looking out for him, right? But yeah, we definitely want to get Kroak away from the Exalti. But actually, these skink cohorts are getting it done, right? Because he's a huge target. They can't help but hit him. Speaking of can't help but hit him, Gor-Rok comes in. And he is trying to ring his bell. The great thing about Gor-Rok is, like, when you're fighting people that want to try to shoot him, they just can't hit him. I mean, look at him. You can barely tell the difference between him and the other ones. Only he swings a lot faster. And he doesn't fall over. Man, does he ever not fall over. More spears into the big guy. Totally overblobbed here. Should have went for a flank, didn't. Just totally overblobbed in the center. It's alright, they can't punish it. Super clumsy play though, right? Like, not at all respectable. It's alright. Exalted Great and Clean One's going down. We're gonna heal these warriors and hopefully get some of them up before everything crumbles down. Doesn't look like it's gonna happen. You can bring them back from the dead, but you know, they gotta heal all the regular guys first. Revivification Crystal, very cool ability. We don't get to pay it off. After the 50th time we're gonna get paid, the game gets boring. Yeah, you know, it is a great fun, but you know, I didn't play one back to back, but I could have. Mine was super messy because I spent like 8 turns chasing the initial Norska guy around and around. Incredibly obnoxious. Rite of Primeval Glory is so obnoxiously wonderful, and it gives you summon Feral Cold Ones. I love summon abilities. Rite of Resilience is the thing that we pop before we go into a real fight, right? Because that's going to give us 1,000 barrier hit points on our Saurus, which are the bulk of our armies now, so we don't want to pop this until the time comes. This... Rite of Ferocity you pump like all the time, you know, because you make more money for post-battle loot. But it's $2,000. Can I afford it yet? Do I have a quest to do it? No. Oh, there's the minor Skaven clan over here at the altar of the Horned Rat. Maybe we can hit them too. And here we can take the skink building. Yes, because a red-crested skink or 2 could be very nice. Would it though? Do we care about the AP? Do we care about flankers? Do we care about getting the skink hero? Yes, absolutely. Skink Chiefs are fine. You know, they're good. Alright, so we have Blessed Skink cohorts already. I confess I don't know how this works. Oh, it works by this resource. Got it. Well, some of these units are very interesting indeed. Like, the Blessed Sounding Saurus have perfect vigor. The ones, yeah, with shields. There you go. Which is just real good. Anyway. You want to do more co-op multiplayer assault? Yeah, you know, I've never played one. They seem pretty cool, but I guess, you know, a lot of it is that, you know, campaigns can take so long. Alright, so the Saurus thing, this is like a nice one-hit wonder, right? Because the second one just gives you 3 armor, and the second one gives you 3 and then 2 attack. But if you just take 1 point there, you know, you get 4 attack to Saurus. And then... like, if we take 3 points here and 2 points there, the 2 points seem really good. Yeah, we might break it up some. Skirmishers, though, that's not where we want. Razor Dawns, I mean, no. I mean, I guess we just take this because we're going to be leaning on Saurus for a super long time. Yeah, why not? Like, we don't even have the Basti building up yet, and we won't for a few more turns, by which point we'll level up to it. Like, do I just keep on getting Saurus? I think so. You know, when you have limited choices, they still feel like you're making choices, right? Yeah, I guess we just keep on recruiting more Saurus. No, it's so many. We're gonna want some more units someday. We can get some cheap ones for a second, I guess. Okay, so the commandments can generate your blessed spawning resource. Rather a lot of it at the top level. Cool. I just feel like growth is probably the appropriate thing here. Even though building speed could be nice. But if I do that next turn... Yeah, I feel like growth is still just better. Growth adds up in a way that nothing else will. And yeah, and the web, you know... I'm not going to pretend to understand the geomantic web. I believe if the lizardmen are in control of the places that we see the circles of, or like friendly parties or whatever, or neutral, it probably tells you right over here. Yeah. Bunch of stuff about how they work. Got it. In an indistinct way where I'm barely paying attention to it. Growth, yeah. And then, you know, and that's another great thing about Lord Kroak. A little bit of a growth boost. You know, anywhere he is, the lizardmen are happy. Because what we have to do right now is go in blind and pop the Skaven and just make it work. We have no choice. Huh. Is this like a little Buna? No, the damage is too low. He is about 125 to 50. Anyway, it doesn't matter. Is that an arcade item? It wasn't. Well, that's fun. A hit to a big unit for a big chunk of damage, you know, 1,000 or 2. Very nice. Charm shield, excellent. You know, when we pop this, he'll be blocking 80% of missiles, and you know, the ward save on there too, pretty nice. Now we can't quite make it in, so we stop right here to get a couple more units of recruitment. Plus 20 leadership fighting against Skaven armies in province. That's worryingly specific. It is a good thing, though. Post-battle loot is always good. The interception thing, yeah. Here we take this one because we need to get to the skink hero soon enough, and yeah, I think that's fine. We're gonna find out pretty soon if any of these were bad choices. Say moral of the story, this whole line. Yeah, well, it's we'll see if we can make it work anyway. You know, I know they got their rework, and some of it I'm like, huh, that seems like it's better than it used to be. We got the first bit of growth there. Go for even more, and now we're just... Oh, I cannot express how much I don't like that I'm doing this. Like, who's even here? It doesn't matter. We have to do it, and we have to do it now. Alright, good news. Not much of a garrison. They don't even have a caster, however. They do have walls. How are we going to get in? No idea. I guess we'll knock on the door. Exposing, of course, my great anxiety in Warhammer, which is, how do I get inside of a city if I don't have enough artillery to blow up towers to walk safely in? Because, man, oh man, do I ever hate playing the game the real way, where you just, like, charge. So we're gonna put one guy, like, over here, right? This will serve to intimidate and scare them. And then if they eventually leave, these guys can run in. But really we're there to, you know, alarm and confuse the foe. Where we're going to, I guess, like, charge down the way here and knock on both of the gates and take a ton of tower fire. It sounds stupid when I say it. But that's the thing. Like, because I don't know what to do if I can't shoot towers safely, I invariably default into doing incredibly dumb stuff like you're about to see right now. It's like, I don't know, I guess we'll just run in. And this is why sometimes my campaigns end very early. Because if the game doesn't give me the tools to do what I think I have to, I just sort of see what happens. And again, we might be fine. But if we're not, then, you know, who could have seen it? I think we can get in, though, because this is like a very trash garrison. So I think we'll be okay just because of that. But if we don't get, like, something to deal with castles soon, we're going to be in a very, very rough spot. Because I think it might be, like, it'll be, like, what, tier 3 before we can get something that can kill a tower. And even then, we're going to need, like, a lot of them, right? We could just keep on charging in at the gates and losing a bunch of stuff. It's fine. It makes you feel like a gentleman. The thing about Skaven, though, is they are hilariously wonderful as a target for this specific combo of Gor-Rok and Kroak. No, Gor-Rok and Kroak. Kroak is who we hope to get one day. We'll just hit the clan rat spears with this. You know, it's a nice ability. It does some damage. It's not that good. You know, we'll get a different ability there someday. But ultimately, you know, we just sort of charge in and it's fine. They use a summon over there, good. These guys climb up the wall, which is not what I intended them to do. These guys get in a very long line, which, you guessed it, is not what we intended them to do. Gor-Rok could theoretically climb a wall, which I guess... Okay, now I'm thinking, like, once you get perfect vigor with him, I guess you just climb the wall. Okay, now I know what we do. We just gotta get a high enough level with Gor-Rok to get perfect vigor, and then the whole game becomes very clear. Because we'll just climb the wall with him and fight on the wall with him, and we won't tank the vigor because, you know, we'll be on the wall. Clearly, just doing this is totally fine here. And now we're going to see a glorious Deliverance of Itza. It's going to melt this whole blob. Observe. Beautiful. And of course they all fall down. And I forgot about that too. I'm like, you know, if we just get them to blob, why am I acting so precious about this? We've got Lord Kroak. It's because I'm just generally very anxious about walls. I'm always like, how am I going to safely get in without taking any damage from the tower? Answer, you won't. Just charge in and hit the door. It'll probably be fine. Sometimes it isn't, though. We don't have to fight Dark Elves yet, though. Deliverance 2 is kind of a sweet spot where it does a ton of damage, and it's got a big radius. It does 50% AP, or 40% AP. The biggest one, 3, does, you know, slightly less, or slightly more AP, 40 to 50% AP, but I think 2 is a sweet spot between efficiency and punch. Because the thing is we're we're a Lizardman army with a bunch of Saurus, so junk Skaven armies are what we prey on. They are the ideal target. We just had to get inside, which we did. Lord Kroak is having too much of a party here. Just running all the way in. Need to get Gor-Rok up here. I would love to have another hero or two. We're gonna get him soon, though. This wizard, we need to get the big guy up there. Don't think we really can. Lord Kroak is back in combat again. He has a wizard's mentality and the body of a prize fighter, but, you know, we're gonna run away. Run away! Because despite Saurus being big old dudes, they're not large, you know, they're just big. Bok. And a whole bunch of them gets it done against basically any group of things. But we are streaming in terribly here. This deliverance should be okay. Yes, gets us in. But the big guy is getting on the group of them. Good old Lustria. Never change. Fuck. And now that Gor-Rok's here, this little grouping is gonna be fine. You'll see. Like, what's going on with these dudes? Oh, they're fighting so much and getting peppered by a bunch of skirmisher fire. Not ideal. By just the most skirmisher fire. Okay. Yikes. Oh, we're going through the middle, it looks like. And we'll just, like, throw these guys away. Or not, you know. Maybe we'll force a response. Alright, these guys are lined up super far. So, while it looks like these units are fighting there, it's actually just the skirmishers who are inside. Siege is wonderful. Power reserve is empty. We're actually in super rough shape over here. Super rough shape over here. You know, it wasn't joking about the Pyrrhic victory. No, it's not as bad as all that. It's not clean, though. It's not pretty. Oh, we didn't tell them to climb on the wall. They're gonna climb the whole way away. Anyway, those units serve their purpose of having people respond to them. And depending on what happens here, we might not even take this if they are able to come back and flip this point, but it looks like we break that one off. These Skaven spears come in. I just need to hold it for 1 second to break these towers. Just there we go. And I think we're army lost in them now. There we go. Anyway, super ugly, right? Incredibly ugly. Still a win. Come back to life. We got 3 Saurus warriors coming back to life. This is what it's all about. The revivification crystal, man. That's the good stuff. And if you get like a few of them, right, before long, something bad happens, you just say, no, I forbid it. You can't die. You're too beautiful. And you know, bam, there you go. Look, 15 more dudes. I don't think Revivification Crystal used to do that. If it did, I didn't know it did that. The Saurus getting hundreds and hundreds of kills. You know, there are plenty to go around. These skinks got 300 kills from mopping up, but yeah. And we have to sack all of the Skaven settlements, basically no matter what, because we are on a mission to get this mace, which gives you 18 fizz resist. Gor-Rok already has like a decently high fizz resist. He has his ability to hit for 40% more, and with this it gives them, you know, if they don't have magic attacks, they're going to be in a bad spot. And then of course, plus 40 melee attack, dazed, and 50% on damage and AP damage. He just gets real raid bossy real quick. We take the barrier hit points and Greater Arcane Conduit. Spell Mastery didn't exist whenever I played Lord Kroak last, so like we're eventually, I guess, gonna get him to higher numbers in it, and that'll be pretty fun. Here, Bastillodon, and then is the Skink Oracle the one that like comes on like a Feral Troglodyte already or something? I think so. Yeah. So I think we take this just because Skink Oracles are so hilarious. Plus Earthblood's good. Yeah. The gamers just try to be like Gor-Rok. Oh, indeed. Armored and shielded. With predatory senses and an expert in melee. We could all learn a lot from him. Alright, here. Do we want red cresteds? I don't think it's worth it, although having some poison wouldn't be terrible. But at that point, look, like, I mean, they're just so squishy compared, you know? Because the thing about red crested skinks is they have 8,000 HP, right? And Saurus have 10,000. And that's on top of having weaker defensive stats in armor and melee defense. So it's like, they look like, if you don't look at the HP totals, they look like, okay, maybe they'll be like kind of equivalent, but they won't. Like, Saurus just live. Here, a couple of skink skirmishers, maybe, but they're barely more expensive than normal skinks. A couple of them won't go amiss. And here, we don't spend another point here, so that we can jump up here to get that one. Do we cancel this? Do we get a refund on it? I don't remember. If you get your pot back. Anyway. Our army continues to be very respectable. But the thing is that, you know, it doesn't have any flash, and it's not going to for 4 more turns, and then it's just the Bastillodons. Do we cancel this? Yeah, you don't get the population back, and I should have known that. Poor choice, right? Bad choice. You don't get the pot back, and I should have known that. Right after that, I'm like, you don't get it back. It's only if you cancel at the same turn. Which makes sense, because you have to get more for each point. But anyway. Win 2 battles for 250 spawning points. Yes, please.
Has been issued, mighty lord.
Well, a little flashes to the early game. Yep, fair enough.
Be wary, though, for while the potential rewards are great, so too are the perils.
Shield of Aeons, which of course is a very good pump ability for armor, charge, reflect stuff. Can I win this battle? I mean, probably not yet. The earlier you do it, the happier you are. I mean, maybe we could do it. We've got Lord Kroak, but he's not, like, in his final form, right? He's just real strong. Oh, we destroyed that building. I'm a genius. Terrible choices. Nothing but bad choices that whole intern. Alright, so we... Wonderful. It's fine. Now here we have to make a choice where we say, do we go this way, or this way? Now we have to go here because we can't let them have a foothold in. This is when rats get really annoying. We're gonna hope that this is the minor faction. Pestilence has 4 settlements, though. So too does Clan Spitel. So maybe Pestilence has, like, these 4. Anyway, we have to go to Subaton anyway, so... Oh, that's right, Tomb Kings can be over there. Well, at least they're giving me enough Skaven to fight for the quest, right? And we have just enough movement to be able to make it in, which is good. It's going to be annoying the first time we don't. Feral Cold Ones, I love these guys. Are they good? No. Are they fun? Yes. No, they... You know, they go all feral, so it's annoying. You think it's gonna be fun, you know? Hey, they'll just do their own thing. They'll figure out what they should do, but what they really do is run into the front of the lines, and that's not really what you need them to do. But it's okay, because now we've got more defense for the Bastiladons. Wait, what? No. No. You're joking. No. I don't believe it. That's why they're so hard to take down? Bastiladons have immune to flanking. Okay. Man, are they ever a headache to deal with? Now that makes more sense. You know, I don't know half the things about this game. Well, that's good news. So Bastiladons are immune to flanking. That, you know, they couldn't have always been, because I honestly don't think that has always been in the game. Oh man, we're just a little bit short of growth. That's too bad. Oh well. Lord Kroak just sort of gets some more. Now, he's got growth, which is great, and replen, which, like, the thing about Kroak is all of his things are so good that you very much want to, like, take all of them, but you do have to figure out what the best one is. Alright, so, word save for everybody on the map for 10 seconds when we cast. Pretty good. Magic attacks for 15 seconds when we attack on the whole map. I mean, we'll want that one eventually. I guess what's more important here is the very short term, right? If we get better growth, then these places will get up off the ground a little faster, and ultimately we'll be able to cast more. Or if we replenish more, you know, it's rare you have so many choices that seem attractive in a game like Total Warhammer, where normally the sort of things become more clear. 5 word save to the army, man. It's nutty. Alright, so I think what we actually do is, yeah, just getting a cheaper deliverance too, because that's what we lean on, right? That's what we should get. That's our sweet spot of power and delivery, because 3 discounted is still 14 wins, which is a bunch. 1 discounted is 5, which is not too small, but it's not like that big of a radius, right? I feel like 2 is a nice sweet spot there. Hopefully I'm right. And we're going to march to get to Oixel. This could bite us. Really, I just wanted to get to here. We don't want to go too much further. Of course, when you're in March, you lose ambush defense, and you're also tired in battle. Now, the thing about Lizardmen getting ambushed is you never, ever have anything in your armies you care about getting ambushed. I mean, you could have, like, Razor Dawn hunting packs, and that's very classy, and I love it if you do that. And maybe I will someday. But even if they get ambushed, it's, like, such a small part of your overall forces, and one that usually won't deliver on power. I'm not biased against Razor Dawns. I like them. I think they're cool. I just wish they were better. Skulltaker has declared war against us. And of course, we may not be able... It looks like we may not be able to ever recruit a Bastiladon. We might be getting a game over right now. Sure, of Lustria level 30? Yeah. Yeah. If we can just get to level 30, we'll be set. Strength rank 1? What? Like, how is that okay? Why are you talking at me? Strength rank 1. Get out. Anyway, I guess we'll just lose. Alright, so if we leave... Okay, so the thing is we... Alright, let's just think on a macro level right now. Pestilence has 3 settlements, and one of them could even be on the other side here. We don't have scouting. We don't know. Skulltaker will burn down Nitsa in a turn or two if we don't go, probably. And we can't get rid of Pestilence. This means that Pestilence will come back and burn down all of this. We don't really have a choice. We can't chase them down. It'll take multiple turns to get there, so we just need to get here. We got single turn Bastille recruitment. So, you know, we can get a couple of them anyway, and a nice skink priest of beasts. Cunning is very good. Of course, the experience gain's good too. So too is the melee attack for the units in the army. Because they're eventually going to get big old mounts. So beasts is like... It's okay as a lore. I like it a lot because I believe in Flock of Doom. But we have Lord Kroak. Heavens as a lore we don't really need either because we have Lord Kroak. We might just not need to get one of these guys. But then, if we don't start up a caster right now, if we live long enough for a second army, they won't have one. For that army, Heavens will be better than Beasts. And we'll take this one, I guess. Yes. Yeah. The hit points will matter a ton whenever they're on their big beastie, and... Alright. Oh, this is gonna be bad. There he is. Can he have all the corn RORs yet? Is this Skaven gonna help me out by fighting him? Hubas Humongus and Skulltaker, who's got 3 Blood Reapers. That is nasty. Oh my god. Oh god. How are we gonna deal with Bloodletters of Corn? What even is there in the whole Lizardman roster that does? Deliverance of Itza? How do we live long enough to cast it? Ah, man. Well, you know, not every campaign can be a winner. Alright, so if we do this, we'll at least get our barrier points. Oof. Well, you know. They're close enough to hit us, I think. Yeah, so we can't even drop units here. Alright, yeah, let's see how it goes. Alright. Skull Taker's here. They've got another army with them, the Blood Host. Oh my god. Well, I guess we get 500 more barrier from the defense things, you know. 1,500 barrier on all these Saurus is going to count for a whole lot. It's going to count for a lot. Maybe not enough. We'll see. Alright, so classic Lizardman insanity. The good news is we'll be able to have an immense blob fight here. Just an absolutely immense blob fight here. There are ways to the back route, but I don't think they'll take them until they've taken the central square. And from there, we just move the blob fight backward. He's saying the mustache dress. Well, I hope you're right. Oh, man. Well, you know, I actually... Anticlimax. I'm going to take a short break real quick. Because this might be a little while, and then this will probably be the last video. This will probably be the last video. It might be the last video. It'll probably be the last battle of the session. So I'm just going to take a short break real quick, and we'll be right back. Alright. Back to it. Alright, so what we're going to do is hopefully acquit ourselves very well here. The classic move of having a couple of dudes on the wall to feed the towers. And we'll run back with them. Despite perhaps all knowledge to the contrary, I just feel like it's fine to do this, right? Because if you can get like a lot of towers turned on with a single unit, and then run them back on time, it's got to be worth it. It just has to be. I believe that. Alright, well, let's get to it. You know, the towers are doing some work. We'll just let them, you know, do their own thing. They're actually doing wonderful work against these bloodletters, but it can't last forever. You know, they're doing good. You know, they are doing well, but we can't hold the wall against Khornate forces, and it's foolishness to try. But wow, you know, actually, you know, doing some okay work. We'll be in the back in a minute. You know, this initial burst of power is nice. And they're here now. We should just run and keep ourselves alive. Is this a summon? Yes. Alright, we just need to run away from him. There's no point in throwing these guys' lives away against Forsaken and Bloodletters. If they can run, they should be able to. You know, hey, and that's... Yeah, a half a Bloodletter, a half a Forsaken off of the towers. That's totally worth it. Totally worth it. Alright, we need to start building... Yeah, because if we block off these sides, then we can funnel them into the front a little better, and then hopefully just build like one thing in the front here, make this tower better before they show up. Can we upgrade it to the max yet? No, not yet. Is there another tower controlled from this point? Is there a tower controlled from here? Back here? Oh, no. That one's controlled there, so that's a non-starter. Alright, you know, the crew's here. We've got, ooh, a skink priest summon. Interesting. Yes, because we can summon them right here and then jump onto the wall. Oh, he can't cast when he's on the wall. No, he can. He just wasn't on top of the wall. Yeah, because if they want to let me do this, then I will absolutely do it. Can we comment that far away? No. Like, are they just going to stand here? I'll do it. I say you I will. No, we're not going to use our wins on that. We've got Lord Kroak. Let's be serious. Eats is a big place. It'd be a shame if something were to happen to these fools while they're trying to take it. This wind blast is worth, though, right? Yeah, because we're gonna get, like, you know, corn gore. Yeah, you know, we did no work. We did no work. It's okay. Hit these bloodletters when they're coming up. No, he's dissipating. That's okay. This is a look. Having a caster when you don't have one is amazing. It's nice that the Nexus gives you that. You know, Khorne doesn't have many spells. He does have this thing called the Sword of Khorne, and when he uses it, I'm gonna go like, what? Oh no! I forgot he could do that. What? I can't believe it. Oh no! This is all 100% gonna happen. It's gonna just delete a bunch of stuff, and I'm gonna act surprised. I can't tell the future, I'm just very stupid, so I know this is going to occur. Alright, they're coming on down. The thing about Skulltaker is I'm afraid of him. Our Temple Guard are over here? Oh, you're joking. We put them in the front? Well, we told them to attack. Wow. We moved them forward a little bit. Oh, they were trying to go the very long way around. Wonderful. Well, you know, we can't help them. We're too busy throwing the game over here. Let's go try to fight Skulltaker head to head, right? I hate that we have thrown away our Temple Guard here in the center. I mean, sure, I told them to attack a guy. I didn't know they would do it so much. We're just trying to get Gor-Rok out a little bit. We're bringing Kroak in because he's got a huge barrier, and we're hoping he can soak a couple of hits. Alright, Chaos Warhound's there, at least going away. Sink some shots into him. Gor-Rok's still alive somehow. Keep on working here and here. Deliverance right here. And then we're going here for a big deliverance 3 on this blob. which is going to hopefully turn the whole tide of battle there. Gor-Rok, oh my god, no! My beautiful boy, run away, run away! Get the Basties in to fight Skulltaker. We got the Cav in here. Spears are still alive somehow. Their lord is broken. Run away! Hey, alright, we've got another Shield of the Old Ones. We still need to get this level 3 cast down. Please drop it. It's gonna save us, right? It's gonna get rid of all of this. It did. It does save us. It gets rid of all of it. We're gonna back it up with a level 2 hit. Come in here and here. They are trying to backcap us. That is bad. Gor-Rok, however, wins the duel against Skulltaker. Yeah, I said it. Was it a real duel? Not exactly. Did he have some help? Technically, yes. But Skulltaker's dead. You know, so that's just a fact. The Bastiladon is surrounded up here. That is super bad for it, but fortunately, you know, it's the toughest boy. This tower is doing the work. Put Kroak up here again. Do we want to try another level 2? Yeah, that'll be beautiful there. This Saurus barrier is going to be super nice. This Blood Reaper is just Tokyo drifting into our lines. Feels bad, but we're going to get rid of this little incursion here and here. Kroak still has plenty of mana, and we're going to drop a sick level 3 in the middle of this huge blob here. And when it drops, you're going to see why Kroak is the champion of the world. Watch them all fall down, baby. It's called the Deliverance of Itza, and rarely has it been more thematic in gameplay for me. As we just absolutely hammer that blob and keep on trucking on this one. Of course, now Gor-Rok is in a good spot, relatively. We need to get more of these fresh Saurus engaged over here. Because he's super low, right? Sure. But now he can rely on that big physical resist. He's got 75 with his abilities popped. And Feral Basties are just great, great units. And with the Reviv Crystal, you know, they increase in price, sure, but man, oh man. Having healing that doesn't cost wins is more than its own reward, right? And Kroak goes to absolutely dominate this blob. Beautiful stuff. And of course the big barrier for defending, incredible as well. 500, super good. 1,000 from the right, probably pretty important as well. We need another, you know, Saurus Old Blood among us, whatever the heroes are called. A couple of them in big punchy mode, you know, then you're talking. We are out of wins, of course. We need to get on this Blood Speaker and pop him. He's having too good of a time. That Blood Reaper gets popped. Beautiful stuff. This is a great spot for this tower to just put down the Overwatch fire. And Gor-Rok will just delete this character here. And then move on to other things. This, yeah, this tower is going to have to do the work. And it looks like we are crunching them. And it looks like that'll be army losses. And it looks like rumors of my death were greatly exaggerated by me. And it looks like we totally can defend. You called it, Neo. We totally can do this. And not only did we do it, We kind of made it look clean. Defeating Skulltaker in battle, plus these other ones, and like, and this is so good, right? Because beating him away from home and getting rid of some of these quality stacks, and maybe even killing those heroes, right? He was just level 15, so if we get those heroes down... Now, of course, Basties aren't, like, fast enough to catch a dang thing, but that's okay. None of our stuff really is. We are very slow boys. You know, we can't really catch them on the run back. Yes, Neo, you said it. You said it. And, of course, what did Kroak get? Well, only 370 kills, but 7,600 gold value on what, turn 10? I mean, in the tail of the tape at the end, it'll be very clear that he was the... well, you know, look at these sort of spears with 2,400 value. You know they were fighting those heroes and winning. Anyway, wonderful. Totally getting it done. Kinda can't believe it, but hey, it worked out. This garrison, you know... The thing about lizardmen, which as you pointed out, you know, they're reliable instead of flashy. So if you just have one great spellcaster and one great fighter in a garrison, you might be able to beat Skulltaker. On paper, his forces are very strong, but 1,500 barrier is super good, too. You know, having to go through another 15% HP before they even scratch your HP. Nice. Man. Well, we did it. Huzzah. We take the money. So they actually delivered us 10 grand, which is super good. And we get Ranger's Quiver, which will be really good for, like, the Oracle, the Skink Oracle, which has, you know, armor-piercing ammunition from the jump. So we, yeah. This is actually super good for us, right? Sure, we got pushed back in the war with the Skaven, but that is 3 heroes for Skulltaker that are never gonna grow up. They must have been, like, level 10 or 12. And now those problems would have become severe with a little more time. And as immortal heroes would have been terrible. Getting it done. And we actually have 300 blessed spawning points now, so we could get... I mean, a blessed Stegodon. They have perfect vigor. Stegodons are super good, but we could also save it a bit and get, you guessed it, the Blessed Carnosaur. Are they good? They're very cool. You say house-sized Crocs is the way to go. What do you get for the Blessed Sacred Croxies? 360 missile block on silver shields, 120 armor, magic attacks, and AP. Pretty good. And the regular ones you get, you know, you... So you play a lot of Nakai. I love Nakai. I haven't played a campaign of his in quite some time, but I really like him a lot because I hate defending. Even though we just had a great defense there, you know, I hate defending. But, yeah, awesome. Great. We get several levels. We take Blessing of Itzel, I imagine, you know, for a discount on all the big things. Alternately, what? Post-battle loot, meh. Spell resistance, speed, I mean, decent. Upkeep for Saurus. I mean, we're not going to lean on Saurus the whole time, are we? We did take it in the red line, but we took that in the red line too. And is upkeep for Saurus less important than that? And we get Unrelenting Assault. Perfect Vigor. Wonderful. You know, it stops us from grabbing Rally, which we don't care about as much, of course. Like, it's Stand Your Ground, that's the good one. But Perfect Vigor is absolutely too good to pass up. Although, with his ability, you basically have it. When you really have it, you can do anything you want. We're just getting a discount for 2 and 1 because, yeah. And we're going to take Stimulate Growth because we happen to be at home right now. Can we reach that wouldn't be in our lands though, and this one would. Because, like, 5 Bastiladon, now we're talking. Because Bastiladon are incredibly annoying to deal with. And a faction like Khorne doesn't really have great ways to deal with it, interestingly, right? Because although they have low defense, they've got really big armor. And Khorne has, like, arm-piercing tools, but they can't, like... If you just want to, like, move a Bastiladon, especially if it's several of them, they can't really stop you from doing it. Not super well. And we're going to be able to come in here and punch them. Of course, the problem is that we declared war on these Skaven, who are definitely going to come back and fight us, unless, you know, Tehenowen's not even at war. I'm like, I would love to trade him some of these settlements to get him onto our flank there, but maybe we'll be fine. Because, like, at tier 3, we get, you know, Saurus with Spears. It's tier 4 to get a Saurus Scar Veteran? That is so bad. Is there a different building where you get him earlier? Tier 4? Man. That's rough. Any hero you see at tier 4 is a hero you're never going to get to use. Chaos Warriors with halberds. That's fair. Of course, with Khornates, you don't really see... You got Khorne Gors to worry about, but at least they're just the, you know, Gors. So Saurus will chop them up super bad. And then you just have, like, the dual weapon variants. But I can see that Tzeentch, especially with its, you know, halberd warriors and chosen, the barriers, and then, like, with its range choices would be more of a headache than Khorne. Not that Khorne's not a big headache. Obviously, we wouldn't have won that fight if we weren't in a settlement. I don't think it's worth leveling this up because I don't think we can hold on to it. I mean, we could try to recruit an army down here to stiffen the garrison and do something, but... This is why I'm bad at the game, right? Is because I never know if I ought to do that. Could use this guy to scout, I guess. Because, like, right when I'm here, I'm like, alright, well, I have one army. Do I spend money on another army that sits there? Do I spend money on an army and try to send it out here? I feel like any army I make that's not my main army just dies. I don't know if I've ever made a secondary army that does well. Looking back, I had to have. I've won the game before. But the good news is that with the trait, Feral Bastiladons are cheaper than Saurus are. And very punchy. But 2 more turns and we'll get the growth thing, and then we can start taking cool abilities like more missile resist. Because if we get 15% more missile resist, then they won't even be very shootable, even to Dark Elves. Speaking of... Yep. Speaking of, Lustria Bowl has begun. How do you say the key to multiple armies? Better with military units and fights. Yeah. Because the thing about Lustria is you can't really move. Yeah, you know, we're, Alright, so what if we get a Croxy Ancient here, right? They're super amazing fighters at level 1. 25 bonus first infantry, you know, big armor. He's called Is That So? Like, is that so? That's not what I'm laughing at. I'm laughing at these armies. Oh man, are we ever not going to be able to defend this? Yeah, no, he's got one real army. And Kroak himself is like, you know, he's a fighter. He's punchy. He's got a little bit to him, even though he's not armored. Yeah. I feel like that's just a waste of money. Yeah, they won't even be able to get recruited. So too is the Lord there, but alright, so... Alright, if we go here, we can raise Chakwa, get a little bit of a barrier, and come back and try to defend Itza. We could just march out there and try... Because here's the thing, right? If we... We need a garrison to sit here at Itza and hang out. That's what we need. That's where we need the secondary army to be. We can move Gor-Rok south, like, right now. Right now is fine. Because Skulltaker's still on the back foot a couple turns. And then we'll park this army here, you know, go up somewhat. And then with Itza's terrain and garrison and stuff, hopefully they'll be able to hold out there with, you know, a crew of guys. And then we can just stick this caster in there, and it'll be able to cast Harmonic Convergence and dream of when it gets a Wind Blast. Yeah, seems fine. I hate to leave this here, though. We can be there in... But if we move immediately, we can stop Skrulk from getting any further in. And that is advantageous. Yes, that's what we'll do then. Because we can march safely right now. But we definitely want the Kroak, so we're going to wait. Kroak Ancients are super good level 1 lords. Like, we could, maybe we can do something here. Alright, what's the coolest thing we could do? We could run out the front here. No, there's not a gate here. Man, this city's something. So these are walls they can't even... This is like a real wall here. This is like a Three Kingdoms zone, right? It's good stuff. Run out the gate over here and bushwhack them. The good news is we're getting this plague catapult down, and if we had put one on this tower, we totally could have done it there too. And we're just charging at them because we're not afraid, right? Oh, we do the sweetest attack animation right in on the Plague Monks. There's spears coming in now. We don't want to deal with them if we can avoid it. We can probably just push through the back of these plague monks. Yep. Just all skinks here too. You know, it's fine for a bit. We're not gonna do any appreciable damage, I'm pretty sure. But if we can get one catapult, although we may not be able to, and Kroak's gonna get, you know, pretty happy off his experience here. High level Kroak's a headache. He knocks our shield down with a hit there. And of course, being surrounded, terrified, pathetic. Problem with our animations is they're willing to go way too deep. Way too deep. And this is not really going to slow their forces down. This is why you need a caster, right? And we are melting our machine. We've gone to fast forward, but with Skaven with 5k troops on the battlefield, you know, it hardly matters. Sometimes a nice futile defense feels nice though, right? You know, we made him pay for it. It's very hard, so he'll probably be back before we know it, and it'll be like nothing happened. But at least it feels like we tried to do our part to defend the Lizardman lands. Albeit quite unsuccessfully. I mean, hey, we killed 2,000 Skaven. You know, if we'd been willing to fight at a more centralized location, we might have been able to do it. Nah, I doubt it. It's a lot of towers, right? But could they do it? I don't know. We got like pretty good usage out of these towers the whole time, I think. I think this wasn't a terrible place to choose to have the battle. Clumsy, sure. Ultimately disastrous, obviously. But maybe not bad. Because it did get them to keep on moving up the wall at me, which really messes with them. You know, they hit the wall, the whole unit gets exhausted immediately. This Gracier of Ruin, you know. Maybe we don't kill him, but it's about sending a message. If we could, that would be amazing, though. No, but whenever he goes to scurry away, we won't be catching him. We can go through the trees, though. Maybe that'll work. We might be getting army lost here, though. But if we can get on Skrulk with these skink units, it looks like we can wound him. Oh, man. Didn't even think about that. As a low armor unit, the skinks would match up super well against him. This guy is retreating, and here we're just gonna try to go for the Skrulk snipe. Oh, he has terror, that's right. Well, you know. Although it may have ultimately made almost no difference, we totally tuned up their forces, right? You know. $2,500 losses isn't nothing, and they just don't care because they're Skaven and they'll come right back. But, you know. Hey, we got rid of one Plague Monk unit. Unironically, a great victory, right? It's not so easy for him to get those back. And Harkon's trying to shake me down, or he'll attack me. Lizardmen don't respond to terrorist threats. You pirate. Trade agreement with the dwarves as well? Sure. Obviously, trading with the dwarves is the great plan. Whoops. I've just clicked out of the window. I'm sure we can put it all back together again. Yes, we're still alive. Wonderful. Yes, we just go here and then We get 15 more resources for Basties, which seems worth doing. Now we know what their armies are, though, and what they are not is scary to our primary army. It doesn't mean we can just march in. It does mean we can walk in, though. Because if he has ambush, we know we don't care. You know, no weapons teams, couple of catapults only. That's fine. Of course, the problem is that these guys are still here, but what we'll do... get a Croxy Ancient who, unfortunately, well, you know, they'll start with the range stand your ground. And then he will be the guardian of Itza, right? And he'll get a couple Pharaoh Basties. And then we'll go to revenue neutral, but we'll still have 17k, and then we'll have to build this, which takes 5 turns. We can swap this to make it take 4 next turn. Seems good. And then we'll keep on saving growth to go to tier 4. Yeah, because getting the solar engine, that'll be very good, right? Solar engines are sweet. The blinded attack is nice. But feral steggies are fine too. But really, it's about being able to get access to the Revivification Crystal, which, you know, has that very nice 10% heal on it. But anyway, yeah, because, I mean, yeah, that did great. I mean, we beat up his army. That was much better than just doing the auto. And we got to see their forces. Not that we couldn't have seen them anyway. I don't think they'll try to attack us anyway. Oh yeah, Rakarth though. You know, we're gonna lose this. We're gonna lose this game before too long, probably. But hey, what are you gonna do, right? Gor-Rok can go down and pop Lord Kroak at least. And then we'll go back up here and just ping-pong around and try to stay alive. Because, after all, if we can just hold on to Itza, eventually we'll get so strong that we can beat almost anyone. If. I would love to link up with the Skink of the Plaques there and have him as an ally on the southern front. So maybe that's what we'll do, right? We'll try to hold it up here. This guy's coming in soon. You know, so we'll be fighting here with no more benefits. Now we're entirely out of money. Alright, yeah, so if we get to the Sentinel of Time, we'll be able to trade it to him, probably for good benefits. And this guy will just have to hold against this army. Oh, right. It's got to be a different settlement for the quest. It's okay. We get the other Trickster Shard, which is an item I'm basically happier to see than anything else. This is going to give us that debuff to physical resist and ward resists around him, so when we go to fight those really scary guys in the future, at least he'll have immediate play against them. But, anyway. Good stuff. Gor-Rok gets to level 11, which gets some quite nice things. Yeah, once we get regen, you know, that'll be very nice indeed. I think we take the Soros tie-in, right? Because, I mean, yeah, 10 physical resist is crazy good. And our army is very Soros heavy, of course. Drop a skink, grab a blessed steggy. Unlock Rite of Primeval Glory, which if we had 15 grand, we could spawn a whole army here to protect us. Hopefully we'll be okay all the same. Dream is for these Skaven to all move on me. If they're like besieging this settlement, that's good too. You know, it's not over till we lose it, so. And even then, Gor-Rok with this army can like fight on for a little bit, even though it'd be very sad. But it grows late. We've got a little bit here in our heart of Lustria, and importantly, Tehenwan is still like alive and kicking. So if we can get him to pal around, then you know we know that lizards are reliable friends to lizards.
Your scaled hide will make a fine son.
Rakkar's real charmer. But anyway, a good beginning. Very interesting stuff. Quite a nice defense. Like, is there any benefit to not having the shield? They are slightly cheaper. Hardly a benefit. Anyway. That is all I have for you tonight. It's been great fun. I mean, who doesn't love having a pretty strong lord? He's not cartoon powerful yet. Once we get everything set up, get his items going, you know, against anything that doesn't have magic attacks, he's definitely fearsome. But before too long, hopefully we'll get things underway, because if we can just hold on at its which even if we don't, we can just take it back and take 15 or 20 turns longer to build anything cool again. I'm making it sound bad. It'd be fine. But if we can just secure the southern border and then we can try to move on to Lustria. It's very daunting, but we got our first real big hits, right? Like when we beat Skulltaker's army, that was what we had to do. So I'm just glad that we did that. Anyway, that's all I've got for you. Good night, guys. Good night, Neo. Good night, Carlos. It's nice to see you here. Good night, Miko. And hope you guys have enjoyed, and maybe I'll see you guys later. Peace.